What's up, y'all? My name is Tony, and I'm from the group Beholder.
Hi, I'm Steve McCoy from Sacramento.
Hi, I am Kenyon Ortiz.
Hi, I'm Jamal from Purposely Anointed.
Hi, I'm Andre Dance, and I'm from Great Praise.
Anybody want to be set free? Hey! Extra, extra, read on about it. Better come close, if not, I'm gonna shout it. See, I'm a Christian, not a pushover. Open up your cell phone, make it as a ringtone. Jesus freed me from all of my sins. Gave me joy and peace within. You lose all the chains that were holding me. And I think of the day,
When God actually gave me the vision for the group, I was in my bed watching TBN, and I think one of the preachers, they were doing the marathon preaching, and he just said, he said everyone has a purpose, and everyone has the option to be anointed by God. And from there, I formed Purposely Anointed, and then I was like, who's going to be in it? Who's going to be a part of the group? So sitting at Morgan State University in the choir room, and like a couple of people started lighting up, and like it was almost as like I'm seeing a vision, like people just, it was a glow around certain people. And I've never had the boldness to walk up to anybody and say, God said do this, God said, you know, God was telling me this. And just one day I just became bold and very courageous, and just went up to people like and caught them off guard, trapped them in a corner, it's like I'm playing, and just began to tell them and share with them what God was telling me. And since then, they were a part of the ministry. Then we grew to like 15 people, because at the time it was just like everybody wanted to be a part. And then we went to 20 people. And then it was a season of transition where God moved it down to 7. And it was 7 for a while. And then we finally made it 6. Set Free was written and produced by Morgan Turner. We take no credit for him. But when I went to him with the vision for the project, it was, you know, we just wanted to create something that young people could listen to, but also that the older generations could get with as well. You know, nothing too far of a gap like, oh, they're too radical, I can't listen to them. Something that would help deliver those that are unsaved, younger, you know, in the same generation as us, as well as the old. Just music for the whole entire world to hear, to be set free, to be delivered, to be healed, to be, you know, to get whatever they needed from the Lord. So that's the vision for the group. We're young, high energy, you know, and we want to go around the world, like go all over the world where people aren't as fortunate as the U.S. And minister to them, not just in music, because at the end of the day, when the curtains close, the music is off. We have to realize that it's just really between you and God. So as long as we can pass on that message to everyone, don't rely on the music to save you, rely on God. So all around the world we want to go and spreading the good news of Jesus Christ. That's so true.
Yeah, man, I grew up in East Baltimore, in Maryland, in the city of Baltimore, man. Grew up with a mom who was on drugs, grew up with a grandmother who was in church. And I ran the streets of Baltimore, man, but I was in church, but outside of church. I learned how to do church, but I wasn't a part of the church. And I had a rough life, man. I had cancer. I was shot. I watched my mom die of AIDS from drugs and different things, so on. but I was in church, but I always had an interest in really knowing God and the things of God. But I thank God because music was what kept me in the church. And I started off playing drums at a very young age. And from the drums, I started playing the organ and the keyboards. And from there, I started writing songs. Cancer was a rough place for me. It was a place where ministry was birthed. At the same time I was fighting with cancer, my mom was fighting with AIDS. And at that time, it was a dark time, man. And I had osteosarcoma, it's bone cancer, and it was in the knee. And at that time, songs were birthed. Around that time, I was dealing with a lot of depression, oppression, and just different things that I was fighting with at the time. But songs and ministry was birthed out of that time, in and out the hospital with chemo and different things like that. Several times I felt like I actually wasn't going to make it. But the victory in that is we didn't finish the course with chemo. The doctors till today cannot find the cancer, don't know what happened with the cancer. So a lot of songs were birthed out of that experience in my life. Our new single is called Sweetest Man I Know. Well, it's actually called Sunday School. Sweetest Man I Know. I picked that title Sunday School because if you get the chance to listen to the song, which is a really nice song, it has a alternative rock tune to it, and that song, it was birthed out of the mindset of Sunday school when I started singing it, and I wanted to call it Sweetest Man I Know. And I was like, oh, that's too average, and I said Sunday school would be best, because when you listen to the words, it reminds me of stories from Sunday school that we learned growing up and different things. We want to use the music to set the stage for the ministry, to set lives free, and see young people just deliver. Right now, I think that's my goal, to see a generation just turn their hearts back to God. So it's more like evangelism choir, you know.
Come on and put your hands together and give God a praise. As we give God glory, we give Him honor, we give Him everything that's due to Him. Come on.
The Rehoboth came to play in 2009. God gave me a vision. I had all of these songs, and I'm gonna say I didn't know what to do with them. It just wasn't the time to do something with them. God took me to Genesis 26 chapter, 22. Isaac, when they were digging wells, they named the well Rehoboth because they said God made room for them.
You know, I mean, we can all testify how God made room for us over the years. I mean, I look at you and I look at these people here. God has really made room for us, and when God has given us that room, it's up to us to make the best out of it. You know, so that's what the group Rehoboth came from. And God is making room. We're just gonna go where God makes room. You know, wherever God leads us, that's where we're gonna go.
Every group member, I love them all. They have their own individual personality. They're funny, they're real, they're honest, they're vibrant and jubilant. And God has really, really blessed us with versatility in the group. God gave me the lyrics for Rejoice in a Dream. I believe at that period of time I was going through some things myself, and God was just saying, rejoice, you know, the joy of the Lord is your strength. The album is called He Is Great, and I'm praying that it'll take people, you know, whoever, no matter what you're going through, from that place, you know, where they are, to a place in God where they can receive what they need.
Remember Jesus Christ. about him all the time. Oh, let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you, let me remind.
When I first started playing, I started playing when I was 8 years old. I was up at our church, Mount Zion Baptist Church, High Point, North Carolina, and I was just tinkering on the piano. And the late Reverend Emmanuel T. Rucker, he came up and he showed me 3 chords, a C, a F, and a G, and taught me how to play Amazing Grace. So that's how I started. And he was like, "You're going to sing in front of the church." And I thought he was playing. You know, I'm 8 years old. I'm not taking him seriously. And you talking about Mount Zion at that time had about, 800 to 1,000 members. And he just called me up one Sunday, and that was the start of my playing career. My new single is coming out very soon, but it's out on the Utrecht compilation. It's called Isaiah 53. It's derived from Isaiah 53 and 5. I wrote that song, man, about 3 years ago. And I wrote it when I was sick. I was really going through it. They kind of didn't know what was going on. And I was just dealing with a lot with this sickness, man. And I just began, I picked up my pen and I just began to write. And at the time when I did the original arrangement, I didn't even plan for it to do anything. I kind of wrote it for myself, to encourage myself. But when Tavon heard it, he was like, "Man, we got to record that, because we really feel like, that song can help somebody." The album that's coming out, we haven't titled it yet, but the album that's coming out, man, it's gonna be, I'm a rocker for life, man. So, I like guitar heavy, rock style music, but my voice is soulful. So you're gonna kind of get a mix of like soul rock. I think that's how we would characterize it. It's just like soul rock. So look for the album. It's coming soon. Kenyon Porty, make it happen.
I went through an experience of divorce, and it's something that people in the church don't like to really talk about. People that really you thought was supposed to be your friend or mentor kind of like turned their back on you. When I really was at a point where I really needed someone to lead me to the Lord, or to pray me through. Folk, talked about, he's a preacher, he's backslidden, he lost his marriage, his home broke apart, he's supposed to be a man of God, and they talked about me really, really bad. And through that experience, the group had gone through so much. We had changed members, but there was that core faithful group, that remnant that will always stick with you. And when I given my life back to the Lord I was riding in the car the next day and the song came to me, "We Made It." I've had so many troubles and pains. I've been through heartaches and rain. And it said I had so many sleepless nights, many friends left my side, but I made it. And I can be a testimony to somebody else to tell them that you too can make it if you ever get to that place. But before you can even get to that place, obey the word of God, and God will bless you.